Welcome, traveler, and thank you for joining me on this quiet journey back to a world long ago. Let us step gently into the year 1751, into the American colonies, a land of forests, rivers, fields, and small settlements stretching along the eastern shores of what will one day become the United States. Here, life moves slowly, guided by the rising sun, the seasons, and the rhythm of daily labor. Winter holds the colonies in a quiet, reflective hush. It is the time between January and March, and snow blankets the fields, forests, and villages alike, softening sounds and slowing time. In a small wooden home near a frozen river, the Thompson family rises from straw-stuffed beds. Outside, their cows breathe mist into the cold air, and the chickens huddle in coops warmed by straw. Breakfast begins slowly. Cornmeal porridge simmers in a cast-iron pot over the hearth, enriched with a small drizzle of honey or maple syrup if the family is fortunate. A bit of salt pork is warmed, and a piece of cornbread baked the day before accompanies the meal. For those with access, a small cup of weak coffee or tea adds precious warmth to the chilled morning air. Each family member eats carefully, knowing the energy from this meal must carry them through the labor of a cold day. Inside, women like Mrs. Thompson engage in spinning wool for the family's winter garments. Her daughters kneel nearby, threading yarn onto spindles or mending garments that have frayed during the previous months. The hearth glows softly, reflecting the flickering light onto their faces as they work quietly, their hands skilled from years of repetitive motion. Outside, Mr. Thompson sharpens axes and repairs plows, preparing for the work that will resume as the frost loosens. He ventures to the barn where the cows are milked and the pigs are fed. Every movement is deliberate, checking ice in troughs, ensuring the chickens are sheltered, and verifying that all tools are in order. In a nearby forest, hunters check their snares or track deer, careful not to disturb the stillness, aware that patience is a hunter's greatest virtue in the snow. The children contribute in their own subtle but essential ways. Little Samuel carries firewood from the stack near the door, his small hands roughened by the frost. His sister Mary gathers water from the frozen well, carefully melting the ice for household use. Education comes quietly, a parent reading aloud from a small Bible, teaching letters or recounting folk stories that explain the land, the animals, and the rhythms of the seasons. As the day wanes, dinner is a comforting stew of winter vegetables and salted meat, simmered for hours over the fire. Root vegetables like turnips, carrots, and parsnips form the base. Beans, dried in autumn and now rehydrated in water, add sustenance. Small herbs saved from the garden lend their gentle aroma. The meal is eaten slowly with gratitude, accompanied by more cornbread and perhaps a preserved fruit from last autumn, a sweet memory of warmer days. News from afar occasionally reaches the village. A traveler might bring word of a new tax on imported goods, or of a ship arriving in Boston carrying cloth, sugar, or tea. These events, though distant, ripple subtly through daily life. A new cloth purchase, a different price for sugar, a change in how families plan their winter expenditures. The evenings are filled with quiet reflection. The fires burn low, casting dancing shadows on the walls. The Thompson children huddle close as their mother tells stories, tales of forest spirits, of their ancestors' journeys, or simple lessons about survival passed down through generations. Outside, the wind whistles through the trees, carrying the faint scent of pine and snow. The rivers remain frozen, and the quiet hush of winter blankets the land. Sleep arrives slowly as the family rests under heavy woolen blankets, their hearts warmed by the fire and food, their bodies renewed for the tasks of tomorrow. In this moment, the world is small, contained within the walls of their home, and tomorrow will be much like today. Thank you for walking with me through this winter day in 1751. If you enjoyed this journey into the past, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more quiet travels. Until we meet again, stay well. Settle in, close your eyes, and let's journey back in time. The year is 1751, and spring is gently breathing life back into the American colonies. The snow, a long and silent guest, finally melts away, forming streams that sing and bubble through the forests and fields. The sun's warmth touches the rooftops, softening the once frozen soil. Listen closely, and you can almost hear the flutter of wings as birds return, their songs weaving through the crisp air. The air itself is a mixture of damp earth and the sweet promise of budding trees. Imagine a small home, the Clark household, nestled near an orchard. The routines of winter are fading, replaced by the call of the outdoors. Inside, the morning begins with a hearty breakfast. Picture a bowl of warm porridge sweetened with dark molasses. Beside it, fresh eggs from the coop and slices of cheese made in the early days of spring. The firelight still dances in the kitchen, a comforting glow against the growing daylight that now lingers a little longer each morning. Outside, the real work of the season begins. Mr. Clark guides a team of sturdy oxen, their strength turning the earth, cutting deep, straight furrows for corn and beans. His children follow in his wake, their small hands scattering seeds, their sharp eyes spotting and removing rocks from the fertile ground. Near the house, Mrs. Clark tends to her kitchen garden. She carefully plants herbs that will flavor their meals for months to come: sage, thyme, and parsley. She maps out her rows, giving lettuces and onions the space they need to thrive. The forest and streams offer their own bounty. As the world awakens, so do its creatures. Deer step cautiously from the cover of the trees, while rabbits and squirrels dart along the shaded edges of the fields. The newly thawed streams are alive with fish. Every day brings an opportunity for hunting and foraging. Families venture out to gather tender ramps, the first dandelion leaves and early wild berries. These fresh greens are a welcome addition to their meals, perhaps lightly cooked with butter and herbs, served alongside a slice of bread baked the day before. Within the home, the energy of spring cleaning takes hold. Ovens are scrubbed clean of winter's soot, and floors are washed with warm water, chasing away the last of the cold. In the dairy, the rhythmic churning of butter begins, and fresh cheese is pressed. The first preserves of the season are carefully put away, perhaps pickled onions or a sweet bright syrup made from early rhubarb. Though the days are growing longer and candles are needed less, nothing is left to chance. A good supply is always ready for a sudden spring storm or a stretch of rainy days. The thawing earth means the roads are passable once more. They are soft and muddy from the spring rains, but wagons can now make the journey to town markets, their wheels cutting deep tracks. They return laden with precious goods, bolts of cloth, sacks of sugar, and other supplies. It's also a time for visiting. Neighboring families travel to see one another, eager to exchange news, trade seeds for the garden, or lend a small tool. The community comes together, their combined strength making light work of plowing fields, repairing barns, and mending fences that were damaged by winter's weight. As daylight fades, the evenings grow brighter and warmer. Supper might feature those freshly gathered greens, a side of lightly cooked root vegetables pulled from storage, and salted meats that sustained them through the winter. With the chores done, the children gather near the hearth. They listen to stories told by their elders, tales that teach them about patience, skill, and the unchanging rhythms of the natural world. The air is fragrant with the essence of spring, damp earth, new leaves, and the gentle warmth of the sun. Sleep now, traveler. Let your mind wander along these thawing rivers, through the budding forests and across the newly ploughed fields. Feel the gentle pulse of spring, the quiet beginning of growth, and the patient, hopeful rhythm of 1751. Now, the sun climbs higher in the sky, and summer's deep, steady warmth bathes the colonies. The days are long, filled with both dedicated labor and moments of sweet leisure. Sunlight glints off fields of green and gold and reflects brightly on the slow-moving rivers. At the Hayes homestead, mornings are a celebration of freshness. There are eggs from the henhouse, warm milk and crusty breads, sometimes served with a handful of sweet strawberries or cherries picked straight from the orchard. A fire may still warm the kitchen hearth for cooking, but life and work have moved almost entirely outdoors. The fields are a hive of activity. Rows of corn and beans stretch towards the sky, and the stalks of wheat begin to sway and ripen in the gentle breeze. Children are busy with their own important tasks, carrying water from the well, diligently removing pests from the garden plants, or chasing chickens back into their coop. The livestock is milked, fed, and sheltered from the midday sun. In the woods, hunters track deer and rabbits, while the rivers, now teeming with life, offer a generous catch to those with nets and lines. The herb garden is at its peak, and bundles are harvested for cooking, for making medicines, and for drying to season meals in the months ahead. With the abundance of fresh food, summer meals become lighter. Breakfast might be simple boiled eggs, a glass of fresh milk, and a slice of buttered bread with a side of garden greens. Lunch, eaten in the shade of a tree, could be as simple as cold bread with preserved meats or a piece of cheese. Dinner is often cooked slowly over the hearth, or even over an open fire outdoors. Imagine platters filled with fresh vegetables from the garden, roasted meats from a successful hunt, and desserts of early fruits preserved in sweet syrup. Travel is much easier now. The dirt roads, once muddy, are firm and dry under the summer sun, allowing wagons to travel more freely to and from the town markets. Traders bring essential and desirable goods like sugar, tea, cloth, and nails. Along the rivers, ferries carry people and goods from one shore to the other. Encounters along the road are gentle. Neighbors exchange friendly greetings, share news from the town, or pass along small stories carried from distant lands. The work of the community continues in harmony with the season. Neighbors join together for the great task of haying, bringing in the fodder that will feed the animals through the coming winter. They help one another with roof repairs and well maintenance. Sundays and special holy days provide a structure for rest and religious observance. In local assemblies, men gather to discuss community matters, settle disputes, and talk of trade and governance. Life flows in a steady balance with the sun, the rain, and the wind, a quiet harmony with the natural rhythm of the world. As dusk settles, the evenings are warm and reflective. Families gather near the hearth or sit outdoors in the cooling air. The sound of children running and playing lightly in the twilight mingles with the chirping of night insects. The spaces between tasks are filled with simple joys, music from a fiddle or flute, stories passed down through generations, and quiet conversation. Sleep now, traveler. Let your mind drift along these sun-warmed fields, through the whispering forests, and beside the gently flowing rivers. Let the deep, peaceful rhythm of summer carry you into a restful and profound sleep. Thank you for joining me on this journey. If you enjoyed this glimpse into the past, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel for more stories. Your support means the world. Rest well. Winter, December 1751 to February 1752. Winter returns. Snow blankets fields, rivers and ponds freeze. Life slows but continues. In the foster home, mornings bring grey light, rekindled fires, water drawn from frozen wells, breakfasts hearty, porridge, bread, eggs, salted meats. The hearth becomes the centre. Women spin, weave, mend and prepare warm garments. Candles lit to illuminate long evenings. Kitchens hum, stews simmer, breads bake, preserved foods rotated. Men labor outdoors as needed. Snow clearing, livestock tending, hunting through quiet forests. Ice fishing practiced with patience. Children help, carrying firewood, sweeping, assisting with chores. Education continues through storytelling and observation. Travel is slower. Icy roads, snow-covered paths. Travelers bring essential goods. Markets see less traffic. News arrives slowly. Community life measured. Neighbors assist with snow clearing, fences and provisions. Assemblies discuss governance, trade and concerns. Evenings comforting. Fires crackle, families gather, children listen to tales absorbing life rhythms. Music accompanies storytelling. Weather outside relentless. Snow falls softly or in storms. Winds howl, rivers swell beneath ice. Yet beauty persists. Frost patterns on windows, smoke rising, sunlight on white fields. Night deepens, fires fade, animals rest, families sleep. The year winds down, closing one cycle, ready to begin anew with spring. Sleep, traveler. Drift among frozen fields, quiet forests, softly glowing homes. Hear fire crackle, murmuring rivers, whispering wind. Feel the steady, enduring rhythm of colonial life, slow passage of seasons, and comforting cycle of 1751.